Hi,
Hello.
welcome to Say You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast where we watch movies. Some of them suck, some of them
Yeah.
are good, some of them are just okay
Yeah. And sometimes we put ourselves through the bad movies on purpose.
on purpose. Which, surprise, surprise, we're going to do that next week, Kelly. I have a
Oh, are we?
movie. hmm
Oh, yeah, you did
Everyone
say
get
you had something.
everyone gets a little sneak peek. We're gonna have a bad movie next week.
Yes. Okay, from Cool World to Killer Sofa. Where on the scale are we?
Oh,
Oh.
okay. I think it's worse than Cool World, but not as bad as as Killer Sofa.
What are you making us watch? Oh, I'm scared.
You'll see. You'll see. Um,
Okay.
but either way, how was your week?
It was pretty good. It was really long though. For some reason, like it was only Tuesday and I wanted the week to end already. It was just rough for some reason. Maybe it's the mental health. I don't know. But on a really nice note, I filled out an adoption application for a dog the other night.
Oh, I
So,
was like, you're getting adopted? What? What?
like, I thought you had a family.
You're adopting a child?
No.
You don't
No,
have a
no, no,
job,
no, no.
Kelly.
Yeah, no. They would take one look at me and be like, absolutely not. No,
They're
but
like, oh,
yeah.
you're filling this out for your parents? You're like, no, this is my baby.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my baby. Single motherhood sounds great for me. So
If you want to adopt a baby, we could do our fake marriage thing, live
oh
separate
yeah.
lives. You can have your baby. I'll just come over for like house visits from the social worker. It'll be great.
You'll be the father figure.
The
You don't
father
even
figure.
yeah, we don't even tell them that you're the dad. You're
Yeah.
just like uncle or something.
Yeah.
I
Even
mean,
even though legally I would be that
yeah,
child's parent.
legally. But they don't have to know that.
They don't know that.
I want to be a single parent.
Yeah. Let her be a single parent.
Yeah.
Make it easier for people to be single parents.
Exactly. Thank you. Make the adoption process easier, please. And
Oh,
less expensive.
less expensive.
Oh my lord.
Ugh. But
That
yeah,
was a great opener.
it
Anyway,
was.
how was your week?
Um, Mine was a whirlwind.
mm.
Let's start off with the biggest news. I got my mom vaccinated. I
Woo!
always win. I always
You
win.
always
My
win.
whole family is vaccinated now, except for my sister
Except for, yeah.
because she's 14. She can't. But
Yeah.
I did it.
You did it. You finally did it.
Look at my power.
Yeah. You have too much power.
I have too much power. I'm speaking shows into existence,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting people vaccinated with just my tongue. Like,
Yeah.
ew, that sounded gross.
We don't want that noise anymore.
No.
No, thank you.
Um, I also I started our YouTube channel. So if you want to listen to these on YouTube, I'm slowly but surely posting them on YouTube.
Yeah.
It is a process.
It is a very long process.
I used to think that YouTubers didn't deserve all that money, but actually,
Actually.
actually, I'm not even really doing any. I'm not doing any heavy editing,
Right.
and so yeah,
And this is without camera so far.
yeah, we haven't even started like recording us.
Yes.
It's just the audio that's
It's just the
going.
audio for
Oh
now. We will
goodness,
soon be a visual media as well.
yeah. If I oh goodness, that's gonna be a mess.
It will be a mess.
But it's our mess.
Yeah,
Um,
it's our mess. We love this.
yeah. And then I have an update from Brandy's birthday.
Oh.
It was a wild day.
Oh
So,
yeah, it was.
her birthday was on Friday. So I'm laying down Friday morning, had not heard from her, assumed nothing was happening. At like 8:30 in the morning, she's like, be here at noon. She lives in the Central Valley. I had to jump in the shower, get ready. all that
Right.
stuff. Because, you know, I don't like to be late.
Yeah, I know. You like to be at least 20 minutes early.
And I was not early, and it made me hyperventilate. I got there on time.
Oh no.
And so I get there. She's not there.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
oh, I'm like, okay, maybe she went to go get Starbucks or something. And so I text
Hmm.
her, I'm like, where are you? And she was like, oh, I'm at that mimosa place that we went to last time. And I was like, thanks for that memory.
Right.
And why did you tell me to be here at noon?
Right.
And so I was stuck in her house alone with my crazy with my I can't speak, with my crazy uncle and his wife for 3 hours. She was gone for 3 hours. And then she came. And then she left like 30 minutes later to go get her hair done. I was stuck all day with these people, and then they forced me to watch that Amazon show, Them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they were watching it, and I was like, I don't have anywhere else to go. Like, I'm stuck here. That was the
Hmm.
most traumatizing show I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
They killed a baby on screen in a horrific way. I will never get that out of my mind.
No.
Yes. And then she came back from her hair appointment, and I was like,
Hmm.
good, I don't have to finish watching this anymore. So I went up to her room, and we watched the newer Charlie's Angel movie. It wasn't bad.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
It wasn't bad. I'm happy I didn't pay to
Huh.
watch it, but it was not bad. Um, and so
I
I'm
heard mixed
like,
reviews on that anyway.
cool. I'm gonna leave at like 8 o'clock. And she's like, no, you can't. We're going to a bar at 10:30. And I was like, are you kidding me? I've been up since 8:30 this morning. I want to go home. She's like, no, you're
Right.
going. And so I'm like, fine. And so we just hung out and watched movies. And then we didn't leave until almost 11.
Oh. Oh, yes, yeah. So you're there for like what, an hour?
I was there for an hour, but I'll get to that. So when we get there, like I drove myself there. I was like, because I'm going for an hour and then I'm going
Hmm.
home.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I'm not drinking anything. But
Yeah.
then I let her convince me to get one drink. And so we're there. I already feel uncomfortable because it's indoors with other
Mm,
people. And so I
fun.
was like, oh, mask up. And then so we get there. I sit down, order a Jack and Coke. It was mostly Jack.
Heavy-handed
Handy,
bartenders.
handy have it. There was barely any Coke in that thing.
It's Jack with a hint of Coke.
Yeah, with a hint of Coke. I feel like she poured half of it with Coke, threw no, not Coke, with Jack,
Hmm.
threw in some ice and was like, oh, I forgot the Coke, and then just like spritzed it.
Yes, spritzed it. She put the can
Because like
next to the
the
cup.
drink wasn't even carbonated. So that's
Oh,
how I
yeah.
know it was
Yeah.
mostly Jack. And then one of her friends, was like downing tequila shots. And I was like,
Ooh.
ugh. And then
Ooh.
the other one ordered a trash can, which is an AMF with a Red Bull. And I had that last time and it fricked me up. So,
They were there to get trashed and as quickly as possible.
yes. And then so this is where the fun part happened. I'm sitting there like 30 minutes into my hour. Some random dude came up to
Oh, yeah.
me and tried to like talk to me, and I was like, first off, I can't hear you. Like, it was so loud. I was like, I can't hear you. And then he got his maskless face up near my face so that I could hear him, and I was like,
Mm.
I was nice though. I was very
You
nice.
were.
I was very nice to him,
Okay.
but I was giving off the body language that I don't want to talk to. Like, my body was like facing the other direction.
Yeah.
But then he would just keep like tapping me to continue talking to me.
No.
But I would give him like short answers and stuff. He'd like, so where are you from? And I'm like, the Bay Area. And then like
Turn
like
away.
turn away. And then he would just keep talking to me, and his breath reeked of cigarettes.
Ugh.
I wanted to barf every time he talked to me.
Gross.
Eventually, he got the hint that I did not want to talk to him. Eventually. Eventually. And then all of Brandy's friends and Brandy were like, "Was he hitting on you?" And I was like, "Probably." Because
Yeah,
I always get hit on by old white men. Always happens.
true.
Always happens. Have I told the story of Hamilton? I'll tell that later. We have a we have a show to do. But yeah,
We have a show to do.
and then once midnight hit, I bounced. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gone. I'm gone.
Yep. My hour is up. I came and did what I wanted, and I am out.
I literally showed Brandy my phone. I was like, it's midnight. I'm going home. And I left.
Good for you.
And then I drove home and I was starving because I had a drink, and drinks make me hungry. And nothing was open. I wanted Taco Bell so bad, and no Taco Bells were open. And
Rip.
I had to get McDonald's. I was so upset.
Mm. Bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, but that was my week. Wild week. But you know what I'm ready for, Kelly?
What are you ready for?
I'm ready to talk about The Parent Trap, or as I like to call it, Custody, the movie.
Yeah. Or alternatively, I am a bad parent and can't tell what my kid looks like.
Yeah. I don't know my child at all.
I don't know my child at all.
At all.
Because I feel like every time I watch this movie, and if my mom's in the room, I always ask her, I'm like, if I had a twin and like I switched on you, would you know? And she's like, of course I'd know.
Any good parent would.
Right.
Like, good parents can tell their twins apart.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's something you can tell the difference. It's something, even if it's something small, they'll know.
And like, how are you getting tricked by children?
Yeah. 2 11-year-olds.
You're getting tricked by children.
Anyway, welcome to The Parent Trap.
Welcome.
We are not doing the original. We're doing the 90s version with Lindsay Lohan.
Never seen the original one.
Really?
Probably never will.
It's not as fast-paced as this one is. It's a little slower. So we start this movie on a cruise ship called the Queen Elizabeth II. And we see a couple, Nick and Elizabeth, getting married and enjoying their reception.
Can you get married on a cruise ship?
Can't you?
I don't know. The one cruise ship I went on was spring break, so there was a lot of partying going on.
Yeah, same.
Don't know if you could get married, though.
Yeah, I mean...
It's international waters, so like anything goes, but
yeah, right. But who would officiate? Who has the power to...
The captain, maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking the captain, but like, wouldn't he be too busy to be
a little too busy?
Do they have like chaplains on board?
Sure.
So we then jump forward 11 years and 9 months, and we see Camp Walden, an all-girls summer camp. It's drop-off day, and we see Hallie Parker and Annie James being dropped off. We see that Hallie is very tomboy-ish, and Annie's a prim little proper London lady. At the cafeteria, presumably the next day, we see Hallie and Annie in the calf line, and they get close to meeting each other but are separated by the camp counselor.
It was during this scene. Yes. It was during this scene that I realized that one of Annie's friends is Kat Graham.
That was one of my movie facts.
I was literally like, why does she look so familiar?
And then, she's one of Annie's friends.
And then during like the next scene, I was like, that's Kat Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know she was the same age as Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I guess I'll just use the movie fact now, but she did originally have some lines in this movie.
Did she not have lines in this movie?
I thought she said they got cut. Ultimately, they got cut. No. She made like affirmation noises, and that's about it.
That doesn't count as a line.
No, I guess no, it does not. But yeah, she had lines originally, and then I guess when they got to editing, they're like, "No, let's just cut her."
She didn't need to speak, so it's fine.
Didn't need to speak. Yeah. She was a really minor side character anyway. We saw her all for like what, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Annie and Hallie became friends, and then we never see her again.
Yeah, really though. They have all of their previous friends, they don't exist anymore.
No, even the girl who I thought was Victoria Justice. I literally thought that girl was Victoria Justice.
They do look kind of similar.
The tall tie-dye shirt girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
thought that was Victoria Justice.
Yeah. Maybe she has a sister. So we then see Hallie at the like fencing activity area, and she's totally kicking butt when one of the counselors calls for a challenger, which Annie steps up, and neither see each other because they're putting on their like gear and their face masks and whatever. So they start fighting, and the battle is super intense. They're going all across the camp.
They're breaking the rules. That's not how fencing works. You have
Yeah,
to stay in your designated area.
Yeah, you stay in
Otherwise,
your little
you lose.
square. Right. There is such thing as out of bounds in fencing.
Yeah. Also,
They were totally
can
out of
we
bounds.
talk about this camp?
Yeah.
What camp is all summer long? I've never heard of a camp that's all summer long.
I've never been to summer camp, so
I've been once. That was awful. You want to hear that story?
because this was an 8-week program.
Yeah, I've only heard of week-long camps. And then like you could add additional weeks if you wanted to, but like your camp with like your people was 1 week.
Yeah, because I'm the summer camps that I know of, they're like there's some of them are themed and they're there for a week, and then you can go to different like
you can go to different ones.
Yeah. It's like it's all on the same, but they're different.
Yeah, types. I've literally never heard of a camp that's come for all summer. That sounds so expensive.
It really does though. And it's an all girls camp too. That makes it sound like it's like private school, like level.
Well, all girls except for that one boy.
Except for that one guy, yeah.
But that brings up my story. So when I went to summer camp the one time, I was supposed to go to Cub camp, you know, for little kids, like 10-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
And there was some sort of mix-up because I got there and I was at teen camp.
Oof.
And then of course you would think, oh, just send him home and refund the money. No, some lady convinced my aunt to let me stay. Bad
choice.
I was 10 with like 13 children.
Yeah. Not the best decision.
It was not. They had to leave me with the nerds because sorry nerds. Because they didn't like want to hurt me. Like they would go on like night hikes and they would like leave Jordan with the nerds.
Oh, because you're a child.
They would put me on the blob and I weighed like 10 pounds and they would jump on it and I would fly like 50 feet in the air.
And that was purely for their enjoyment, not yours.
It was an awful experience and I've never gone back to camp.
Oh, traumatized.
Yeah.
So back in the movie, the battle is super intense, but Hallie is beaten and then she falls back into a water trough. And when Annie goes to help her out, Hallie pulls her in with her. They pull off their masks, and when they go to shake hands, are surprised to see basically a mirror image of one another. And they feel
Annie
some.
Is.
Annie is.
Hallie's like, she don't look nothing like me.
Yeah, Hallie is very much in denial. Annie sees the connection, and she tries to bring it up, but Hallie makes fun of her and like how they don't look the same at all, and like how they don't act the same. And they go almost to fight one another, but they're broken up before anything can get super serious. So that
Did you notice that counselor is Janice from Friends?
Yes.
I was looking at her and I was like, why do you look so familiar? It took me a minute, Janice. But I got it. I always get it eventually.
You always do. So that night, Annie is holding a poker tournament. How many 11-year-olds do you know that plays poker?
I don't even know how to play poker. It's been established before. I don't know how to play poker.
Yeah, we don't know how to play any kind of card games. I think
I know how to play Go Fish. Uh,
Right. I know how to play Uno.
some
I'm
old
really good
maid,
at
some old
Uno.
maid.
Right. I think no, I think we did play. Oh no, I know how to play 21
Oh
because that's
yeah,
an easy game. But I
it's
think
counting.
we did play poker once though
Yes,
in high school,
we've
and
told
we
the
all
story.
sucked. Yeah,
Yeah,
go find it. And she is absolutely killing it in this poker tournament when Hallie shows up to play her. The game goes on for quite a while. The pot gets bigger and bigger. They have very bad poker faces. I'm just going to say that right now.
yeah.
And so things get super serious when Hallie wagers that the loser has to jump into the lake naked, which Annie accepts.
1 second. I'm back.
Okay. So Annie accepts the wager because she's super cocky and she thinks she'll win. But when the cards are revealed, Annie has lost to a full house from Hallie. So Hallie goes outside to jump into the lake. And when she does, oh no, Annie goes out to go jump into the lake. And when she does, Hallie takes her clothes and Annie has to walk back to her cabin naked with only her shoes, which then sets off a prank war between the two girls. Annie somehow puts Hallie and the rest of like her bunkmates' beds up on the top of their cabin.
Yeah, those girls weigh like 70 pounds. How did they
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah. And how did nobody see that and be like, what happened here?
And also, does she just carry around the British flag with her?
Yeah. Did, is
That's
that a thing?
weird.
Is that a thing that
That's colonizer behavior. I don't like that. I don't like
we
that.
don't like
We
that?
don't like that.
We're not here for that. Also, do any British people listening, do you bring the flag around with you, or is that like a stereotype? Or am I remaking this a stereotype?
I'm pretty sure they don't. Because I'm pretty sure every other country makes fun of us because we have our flag everywhere. I'm pretty sure other countries don't carry around their flag,
That's true.
which also we most of us don't carry around flags here.
Yeah, we don't.
That's mostly the Republicans.
Yeah. Or it's one of those, I'm gonna have the American typical house, and then you have it up on your house for like a month, and then you take it down because you're like, I never want a flag on my house ever again.
Yeah.
Or it's up there until it's all ragged and
Yep.
it doesn't look great anymore.
That's a majority of them.
Yeah,
A
it
majority of
really
them
is.
are up there and they're raggedy. And I'm like, you
Mhm.
guys do not know flag code
Yeah, you
at
really
all.
don't. Yeah, because any non-Americans, if the flag is not in pristine condition or if it touches the ground, you
It's supposed to
cannot
be
use that flag
burned.
anymore. It's supposed to be burned.
It's also
Hell,
not supposed to be up at night unless it's illuminated, and
yeah,
people just keep it up. And I'm
yeah,
like, that's not it.
without a light on it at all.
Yeah.
America's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy. Please save me.
Yeah.
After
Canada,
I'll go to Canada after all of this pandemic stuff is
right?
over because
Canada, please accept me.
it's looking bad right now in Canada. But like
Right.
as soon as y'all get y'all vaccine rollout
Mm-hmm.
in check, come find me.
Right. Right. I got some family up in Canada. Just, once it's okay, I'm coming over.
Let me in.
Let me in, please. I can be super nice.
I worked in customer service for like 5 years. I can be very nice.
Right. Also, I'm very fascinated by your bagged milk. And I know that's only a certain part of Canada, but
I
I
do
love
not
that for you
drink
guys.
milk, but
Me neither, but just the idea of bagged milk, I don't know. I just like
very fascinating.
very fascinating. Anyway, Hallie responds to this by her and her friends booby trapping Annie's cabin. So they cover them with honey, shaving cream. They cover the floor with oil. They have a bucket of chocolate sauce. They got water balloons, everything, the whole shebang. So Hallie and her friends wait until morning when everybody wakes up to watch the chaos unfold until they see Marva Sr. and Marva Jr. come by and announce that they are doing surprise cabin checks. And Hallie immediately goes to stop them from going into Annie's cabin, saying that they're sick and you can't go in there and whatever. because the bucket of chocolate sauce they have is rigged to fall down on whoever opens the door.
Okay, but let's talk about that. The way they have it is only rigged for someone going in, not
In,
someone
not
coming
out.
out. And I'm like, that did you not see? This is
Yeah.
what happens when 11-year-olds play
11-year-olds,
games.
yeah.
Like they don't think things through.
Yeah, because if you were doing that, it would have had to be either from the inside so that it would hit them,
Yeah.
or the bucket would have to been super close to the door
Yeah.
for any of that to work for somebody coming out of the cabin.
Yeah, they
But
weren't
anyway,
thinking it through, but
yeah, they're 11.
they're
We'll
11.
give them that. Annie sees the bucket of chocolate sauce above Marva, and she says that everybody's fine in the cabin and that they can come in. So Hallie is pushed out of the way, and the moment the door opens, both Marva Sr. and Jr. are covered with the chocolate, and they somehow end up slipping into the cabin.
I know how the
And
first woman did, but the
yeah,
second one, I don't understand. The
yeah, me
first,
neither.
because Marva Jr. pushed Marva Sr., and that
Yeah.
caused her to like slide.
Mm-hmm.
But how did Marva Jr. start sliding it? That made no sense to me.
Maybe she tried to run after her.
Sure.
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 That's what we're accepting at the moment.
Yeah. Plot.
Yeah, plot. They then rig, or they then activate all the other traps that they have rigged in the cabin, and they pull on some of the strings. Water balloons fall. The fan starts and blows feathers everywhere. No good. They are then banned from camp and sent to the isolation cabin, which is out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yes.
How is this a punishment? You get a cabin to yourself. You don't have to share it with 9 other people.
Yeah.
And you're not supervised. What the fuck?
I know.
Hold up. Okay, it stopped.
Okay.
That was weird. But yeah, that doesn't sound like it's that bad to me. I would I would prefer that.
We're the weird like introvert people that we have to have our own space at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So like we would love being in a cabin away from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wouldn't be mad if they banned me from activities either if I went to a summer camp.
Yeah.
But like
Risk
I guess
activities are not my thing.
Right, me neither. So like, but like 2 11-year-old girls, I'm sure that's like the worst punishment in the world.
Yeah, I would have been like, thank you so much. The same with the punishment in the Addams Family too, where they literally forced them to sit in a cabin and watch Disney movies. I would have been like, oh no.
Right. Oh, I hate it here. Why would you make me watch this stuff?
I get to go to the one place in this entire camp where I can watch TV. That's awful.
I hate it. Why would you make me go here? Puts in another Disney movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. It would be really bad if you would bring me some popcorn.
Right. So they're banned from all activities, and on one stormy day, Annie is doing her own thing while Hallie is messing around with like the decorations that she has on her side, and some of them are blown down by an open window, and so both of them have to go and close it because it's stuck. And so this is when they kind of start to bond. They talk about where they're from, and when Hallie brings up her dad, there's a photo of him that was on her wall that fell off. When she brings up her dad, and he gets like sad, and she kind of walks away from the conversation. So Hallie tries to like bring Annie out and offers her some Oreos. And Hallie's like, yeah, I love Oreos. I'll have some, but I have this weird thing where I like to eat them with peanut butter.
Okay, let me talk about this. So,
I knew this was coming.
Yes. Oreos with peanut butter by themselves sounds awful.
Yeah.
But if you put it in a milkshake, it sounds delicious. And I don't know why. I can't explain it. I've literally had peanut butter Oreo shakes, and they are delicious. But the thought of grabbing an Oreo and
And
dipping it
just
in
dipping
peanut
it.
butter makes me want to barf.
I think it's because with like Sonic shakes and whatever, they have like that vanilla like base.
Yeah,
So
maybe that's it.
it's not
Yeah,
just peanut butter and Oreo. There's something in
yeah.
between that makes it okay.
Because literally, I'm picturing doing it right now, and I want to start gagging. Like it seems inhumane to do it. It seems
Also,
against God's rules. Like,
also I feel like peanut butter is too thick to like
yes.
scoop some onto an Oreo, you know what I mean?
And then if you bite into it, it's gonna be just like so hard to chew all of that.
Yeah,
Like
I
it
feel like I'd be
seems,
thirsty constantly.
yeah. I think it's the ice cream that really balances it out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Because I feel like you either get too much peanut butter on your Oreo and then you can't taste the Oreo, or you don't get enough and then it's just weird.
yeah.
So,
Only do
anyway,
it with milkshakes, people.
yeah,
Oh,
only do it with milkshakes. They find out that they have a mutual love for peanut butter and Oreos, and that's such a weird thing that they're like, oh, that's a really weird, specific thing that me and the person that I look exactly like have in common.
yeah.
Hallie then asks about Annie's father, and she says that she only has a mom, and that since they are divorced, they never talk about her father. Hallie then asks how old
Which makes no
Annie.
sense. No sense. None of these children question, wait, so my parent is alive, they're just choosing not to speak to me?
Right.
That would have made me so upset. And they just seem
Yeah.
okay with it.
Same. I would have been pissed. Like, my father is completely alive and well
Yes.
somewhere on this earth, and he chose not to talk to me at
Mhm.
all. Like,
Maybe that's just my daddy issues jumping
yeah,
out, but I
maybe
would
it's the
have
way I handle things.
it would have I would have felt some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like,
Mm-hmm.
no letter, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right. No birthday card, with just the like the perfunctory like $20 in it and just like the
Yeah,
general happy birthday
like nothing.
from your deadbeat dad.
Mia got a letter from her dead mother in Princess Diaries. Why can't I
Right.
get an actual letter from my father at least once a year saying happy
Right.
birthday?
Right. Like in Princess Diaries, he always sent her a gift on her birthday. He
Hmm.
took her out to dinner. Like he was semi part of her life in a way. Right.
Exactly.
Anyway, Hallie asks how old Annie is, and they find out that they share the same birthday. I didn't write it down. And Annie finds it kind of weird, and so does Hallie. And so Hallie's like, oh, it stopped raining. Let's go to the cafeteria because she's obviously ignoring this conversation.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Same. I see deflection.
Yeah. I see it because
see
I do
you.
it.
I see you, you see me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the humor as another form
Defense
of
mechanism.
defense. Yep. I'm
Yeah.
right there with you, Hallie.
Yeah. And the whole you're stressed out, so I need to stress eat.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. We feel that. So
I
Hallie
see
walks.
myself on screen.
So Hallie walks out of the cabin before they can talk about anything, and Annie goes after her and she asks about Hallie's mom. And Hallie says that she doesn't know her because her parents also got a divorce and her father also does not like talking about her. But she does know that she's pretty because she has half of a picture that her father gave her. So Hallie tries to leave one more time to go to the calf. But Annie gets her back into the cabin when she says that she also has a photo of her father, but it's only half a picture. And so they each get their photo. And when they reveal it to each other, it shows that it's a full set. Then they finally put all the pieces together. Hallie finally sees the whole picture and they finally connect that they are long lost twins. And they also have matching little lockets that have their respective initials on it. So Hallie has an A and Annie has an H.
How convenient that they both brought those
Yeah,
pictures.
right. Right. Also the whole locket thing, like like the parents, why would you do that? Like they didn't want them to know about each other. So why would you buy your daughters lockets with each other's
I mean,
initials
I'm
on it?
sure they thought they'll never find each other. They're in two separate countries, but
True.
then we have to go with why did what's her name? What is her name? Liz send Annie all the way to America to go to a summer
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
It's like, were you trying to do something there, Liz? Like
Right.
maybe not intentionally, but
Right. Right. Like you wouldn't, if you live in London, and especially at that time, it's not like you would get cross country advertisements.
yeah,
Right. So how did she find out
about
about
this
Camp
camp.
Walden?
Yeah, maybe it was a camp that Nick's sister went to or something.
Yeah, or like the one time she was in America, she went to Camp Walden,
Yeah,
like, or one of her besties was like, "Hey, like I'm sending my kid to this camp called an all girls camp called Camp Walden. Maybe you should send your girl there too. She had fun last year." Like, I just want to know what the thought process
yeah.
was.
There's a story there.
There's a story there that's not being told. And so that night, they talk about their parents and find out that either of them have not been in a relationship. And Hallie gets the idea for them to switch places because Annie wants to know about her father and Hallie wants to know about her mom. Annie is against the plan, but Hallie is persistent. And so Annie finally gives in and adds that when they are found out that, they have switched places, that their parents will have to meet because they have to switch them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that gives birth to a whole plan, another plan of getting like their parents back together.
Mm-hmm. It was during this scene where I was watching Hallie and I was like, this is supposed to be a Northern California girl, but she exudes New York energy.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
a New York accent kept slipping out every once in a while. The way she
Yeah.
acted was very New York. I was like, this girl
And where
is.
she says she's from, Napa, California.
No, she is not a Napa girl.
No,
Not at
absolutely
all.
not. I lived in Napa for 5 years.
Yeah, she is not a Napa girl.
That is not a Napa girl.
Not at all.
At this point, I'm more Napa girl than she is.
Yep.
And so for the rest of the camp time, we don't know how long that is. Annie and Hallie teach each other about their, like, the important parts of their lives. So their house outlines, the people in the house, Annie's secret handshake that she has with her butler, Martin. Then they get to the appearances. So Hallie has short hair and pierced ears, and Annie is the exact opposite. So Hallie gives Annie a haircut. And if I was 11, I would not even trust another 11-year-old to cut my hair.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like, I know they're desperate to get into each other's spaces, but she would not look the same.
No.
She would not. Absolutely not.
The fact that no one else at that camp thought it was weird that they cut their hair to look exactly the same.
Right. Like, none of the camp counselors came up to them. They're like, so what's
going on here?
Right. No one checked on the isolation cabin once and walked in and was like,
yeah, you go see, that's why that would have been my perfect cabin. Like, you go there and then you just have free reign of the camp. Like, no one cares about you. You can go to the mess hall, get food whenever you want. Go to the lake whenever you want. Do whatever you want. That sounds like the perfect cabin for me.
Right. Right. No one's forcing you to do anything. No one's checking up on you.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
Sounds great. So Annie gets her hair cut and then she trusts Hallie to pierce her ears in a very crude manner, I'm going to say. Like the way that she did it.
What was the ice cube for?
So the ice cube is to numb the area. Because when you're doing
the apple?
So the apple is like a different way of doing it freehand. So freehand, you do have the needle still, but you use a cork instead. So you just need something on the other end to keep the the pin in
Okay.
instead of just slipping it out immediately, because then you won't have the opening big enough to fit the earring in.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So when I got like my upper ear pierced, it was just a cork on the other side, and then she just stuck the pin through. And then once you get the pin out on the other side, you put the earring in. But yeah, I don't know if she needed to numb her ear, but
It obviously
like
didn't work.
it obviously didn't work. But maybe it was just the whole like initial stress of it, like, you know, somebody's gonna pierce your ear. There's supposed to be pain, so you just scream anyway.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But nothing will freak me out more than if the person doing it starts screaming. Then I would be like, oh
Right.
no, we're
Then
done with
you know that
this.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that Hallie, when she was gonna cut Annie's hair, just totally closed her eyes before going to
Yeah.
take the first cut.
But somehow did it perfectly.
Yeah, somehow did it perfectly. It worked out fine. So the last day of camp comes and everybody's leaving. And Hallie and Annie give each other instructions. Hallie is to find out how their parents got together, while Annie finds out why they broke up. Hallie leaves first so she can get her flight to London, while Annie has a couple more hours at camp before she goes back to California. Also, we don't know where this camp is. They never say.
No.
They said the East Coast once, and I'm just like,
East Coast where?
Yeah,
like
that's a huge
Virginia,
area.
New York. Like, where are we?
Yeah, where are
Maine?
we, friends?
Like, what's happening?
So
Also,
Annie
why
is
did Martin not come back to pick up Annie?
like go to the States to
'Cause-
get her.
Yeah, because like he went there to drop her off. Why did he
Yeah.
not go there to pick her up?
I don't know.
Made no sense. Okay.
Yeah. So on the plane, Hallie is nervous to meet her mom in hopes that she will like her. When she gets to the airport, she looks around for Martin, and when she finds him, they have their first interaction with each other. It's kind of awkward, and Martin notices that she has cut her hair and that she has newly pierced ears. And when he goes in for the handshake, Hallie kind of hesitates before going in and does it perfectly. Hallie is then taken to Annie's house and is excited, nervous when she arrives. Once in the house, she finds a welcome home banner and meets her grandfather for the first time in the study, but rushes to see her mom when she calls for her. Her mom also notices her physical changes, and Hallie cries, saying that she's missed her so much. Hallie and her mom are then having tea later on when Martin shows up with Cuppy, Hallie's favorite stuffed animal, not Annie's. And Hallie has to come up with a lie and tells everybody that it's one of her friends, it's the girl who cut her hair, and that, you know, it's her favorite stuffed animal. Martin suggests that they throw it out, which is rude.
So mean.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, let's just throw it out.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is your best friend's. She's back in America. Let's just toss it. She won't know.
Let's not ship it to her. Let's just throw it away.
Right. Postal services don't exist. So Hallie has to stop him abruptly to stop him from throwing out Cuppy. Elizabeth, Hallie and Annie's mom, gets a phone call, and Hallie looks around the room. When her mom gets off the phone, she invites her to help her with a wedding dress shoot.
Yeah, this work emergency was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like, her daughter had just gotten home, and they're like, oh my gosh, we needed your help so bad.
Mm-hmm.
This veil, it's too long. Like, what do we do? She added a hat.
And it still covered the back, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
he literally got there, added the hat, and they were like, that's perfect, we're done.
Mm-hmm. And then she like stood around and was all like giving it general instructions of like, look happy, it's your wedding day.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they should have like only called you in if like the building was on fire.
Mm-hmm. Like the dress tore, or
yeah, and they can't fix it, or somebody spilled something on the dress. What do we do? Blah blah blah. She should fire those people. Get more competent.
Yeah, she most definitely needs to fire those people.
So Elizabeth and Hallie go to her shop, and Hallie notices a wedding gown in the window that was recently designed by her mother. And Hallie says that she would look gorgeous in that dress, and Elizabeth shushes her and pushes her into the store. Hallie watches as her mom goes about the shop and the photo shoot, and Hallie eventually gets to help out. After the shoot, Hallie brings up marriage again and asks her mom questions about her father. When she asks why Hallie is asking all these questions, she just says that she's curious. She finds out that her parents met on the Kiwi-2, the Queen Elizabeth II ship that we saw in the beginning of the movie. And they took this boat because neither of them liked to fly, and that they were seated with one another, and that's how they met. Also, I hope they didn't meet on the boat and then got married.
I think they did.
On the same trip, did they?
I think they did. That's what they were alluding to.
Yeah.
And I think they did.
Because they say later on in the movie that like their meeting was so quick. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, did y'all really meet each other? And then like 48 to 72 hours later, y'all were like, let's get married.
And that's why they got divorced.
They got divorced.
Also, the QE2, that ship looks like it had never been renovated. It looked like it was from the 50s.
Yeah.
And this is 1998, right?
Well, it was 86 when they met on the boat.
Oh, okay. But still, because they go back to the boat at the end of the movie and it still looks the same.
Oh, yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah, because nothing's changed, like all the photos that they show at the end.
Yeah. Whatever cruise line this is, don't go on it.
Maybe it's like a themed boat.
Oh, okay. I can see
a themed boat.
Yeah, but I want my cruise ships to be very modern, updated. I don't want it to look like I just stepped onto the Titanic. I don't.
On a side note, did they ever finish the Titanic?
Finish it.
Okay, you didn't hear about that? They were rebuilding the Titanic.
What the fuck?
So that people can so that it can make its voyage finally to where it was supposed to go. You didn't hear about that?
No, but that sounds like an awful idea.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago, and they're like, yeah, we finished like 2020 something. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Whoever's doing that, stop it.
Yeah, when people found out, they're like, this. Did y'all not watch or like hear about the original Titanic? Like,
yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Like, it doesn't matter if we have better technology now and huge advancements and like ship and like.
Yeah, I don't know who's going on. I don't know who's going on that ship, but it's not gonna be me.
So
isn't that bad luck too?
I don't know. I don't know the thing about ships.
To like rename a ship after a ship that crashed. That sounds like bad luck.
I mean, just in general, that just sounds like bad juju. Like, don't name something, and don't do a Titanic 2, because that's just worse.
I think there's a movie called Titanic 2.
No, bro. So we go to Annie, who has just arrived at Napa Airport, and she meets her father for the first time.
Which is weird.
What?
How she landed in the Napa Airport.
Oh, and like walked on the.
No. She most definitely would have flew into either Oakland or San Francisco.
Oh.
Unless he paid for a private flight.
He probably did.
Oh, money.
I mean, they make a show that he has a lot of money anyway. And there is a Napa Airport. It's small.
Yeah, I know there's a Napa Airport. I was just like, why would you do that?
And I mean, the size of the plane that she stepped out of, it was small. It was probably one of those.
It looked like a charter plane.
Me and like 6 other people want to do a private plane.
We need
like a couple more passengers.
I will never fly on one of those.
Why?
Never.
Because the accident rate?
Yes.
Yeah.
That and helicopters. Never.
Yeah. And like the past 2 years and like all the accidents that we've seen with planes and helicopters.
I've heard of in the last year there have been like 3 rich people who have died in
Mhm.
helicopter crashes. Never. Not going to be me.
Yeah, and we can't forget the JFKs. Who
Yeah.
just all of them perished in like airplane accidents.
Or being murdered.
Yeah, it's literally like the Henry VIII wives. Like there's like a thing to that.
No, because that family is cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed.
Sorry, y'all. So when Annie and Nick meet for the first time, he notices that something is different about her, but he quickly moves past it. And Annie asks about Chessie immediately. He's very clueless in this movie. I'm just gonna say that.
Let's talk about the fact that what is Chessie? A maid?
Yeah,
nanny?
And because she's clearly been there for a very long time.
Before she was born. Because Elizabeth knows who she is.
Yeah. So was she like an assistant, like a personal assistant for Nick, and then just evolved
into a
to nanny?
Sure, whatever. She figures it out before he does.
Yeah. She basically raised Hallie, so I'm not surprising. But how Liz went the whole time without knowing that anyway. Also, the fact that like Annie was so surprised, well, Hallie was so surprised that Annie had a butler. Like, you have your own at home.
Yeah, you pretty much have Chessie. A butler.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think Chessie is there for fun?
Right.
Like, she is being paid.
Right. She's being paid for this. Like, sure, she may have acted more like your mother, but like, she's still getting paid for this.
That's always been my dilemma with nannies. I've always been like, these kids are gonna think that you're their best friend, but honestly, if their parents stopped paying you, you would leave. Like,
yeah, like you would miss the kid, but at the same time, you're like, damn, that paycheck was good.
Right, I need money.
Oh, I'm sorry, nannies.
I want to be a nanny. I saw a nanny job on Indeed, and I was like, oh, I would love it. Oh, I would love it.
But you don't like kids.
I don't. But like living in a like nice house in San Francisco, being paid to go on trips, sounds amazing.
There is a girl that I follow on TikTok that is a nanny and she's like did her process of like how she got hired, and she purposely like sold herself out in the richer, nicer neighborhoods. And so like she nannies for like this family that are like doctors and whatever, and they'll travel with them. And she's like, yeah. She's like, we'll stay in 5-star hotels, and like I'll watch the kid for like 2 hours. We'll go to the pool. I'll watch him. And then she's like, I have
drop them off at a day camp. Yep.
Yeah. She's like, I have the rest of the day off. And I'm like, frick you, dude. What the? If I liked kids, I'd do it, but I don't.
Right. The fact that I might raise a hand to one of those people's children is keeping me from doing that.
The fact that I might have a mental breakdown is not worth it.
Also, the one I wanted, they spoke like 3 different languages in their household. Ooh. And they wanted someone who spoke at least one of those languages. And I was like, no.
English is the only thing I know.
I was like, if a kid tries to curse me out in French, what am I going to do?
Right.
What am I going to do?
I'm just going to take it. So Annie is now on the way home with Nick, and he brings up that she never wrote him while she was at camp, and she says that she made a new friend that she's like sisters with, so all of her time was taken up. Nick notices that she's a little more proper in her actions and like her words, and the fact that she keeps calling him dad, and she basically just chalks it up to like, I missed you so much and I couldn't call anybody dad while I was away, so like I'm getting it all out now. They then get to the house, and Annie is super impressed with it. She then meets Chessie, who notices that something is very strange with her.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't really let it go like everybody else does. She
everybody else
is in the back of her mind.
Oh well.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you grew up so much in 8 weeks. You're a different person now.
And the grandfather are like, something's happening here.
Yeah, they've got more brain power going on.
Yeah.
And then Annie meets Sammy, Hallie's dog, and Chessie notes that Sammy won't go near her. And that's very strange because basically that's her dog.
Mm-hmm.
Chessie then asks what Annie would like to do. Would she like to eat first before she unpacks and whatever? But her dad tells her to meet him whenever she's done doing whatever she needs, so
He
that
doesn't
she
say
can meet
where.
somebody. Yeah.
He's just like, meet
He's just
me
all like,
later.
meet me so I can like introduce you to somebody.
They live on a vineyard. He could be
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, he literally could be anywhere. He could walk out that back door and be either in his office somewhere.
He could be 5 acres away.
Yeah. Depending on how large their property is, it could take an hour plus to find
their
him.
property looked huge.
Yeah. And they had horses and stuff like that. So we didn't even see the barn.
Yeah.
Like, he got money and he got space. He could be anywhere. We then see Nick go outside and he is talking with a woman. In Annie's room, Chessie tells Annie that the woman is named Meredith Blake, who is a publicist from San Francisco, and that her dad hired her to help market the vineyard. But she's doing better at selling off herself than she is the vineyard.
Why is she still working for them then? You can date her and her not be working for you.
Right.
If she's doing a bad job, why are you still giving her money?
Right. And if she really is just the gold digger that she is, she wouldn't care about if she was fired.
Yeah.
She'd still have him and his money.
Also, Meredith's life goals. She's a 26-year-old publicist.
Yeah, at a San Francisco office.
Yeah.
Like,
I have applied to like 3 different public relations companies. I haven't even heard back. Right. So
right. I am close to 26 and I don't have a job.
Yeah, I don't have a job.
I don't have a job.
I'm 23.
Right.
Still having interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Having like my 12th interview in like the past 6 months.
Yeah. So we need to know her work plan.
What did she do?
Who
does she know?
Yeah.
Who do I have to sleep with? I don't care at this point.
Right. At this point.
At this point, at this moment, with this bank account I have.
Right. Right. All those TikToks that I see on my For You page that are like, this is how you become a stripper or a waitress at a strip club. I'm like, yes.
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Because I'm seeing them stacks, honey. And I'm just like, I would like just a quarter of that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My bank account is like going.
Yeah, it's crying at the moment. So Chessie is like, Nick is not the hot bachelor that, he claims to be. And Meredith is definitely not here for his looks.
Yeah, even though he is a very attractive man.
He's a very attractive man.
I don't know what Chessie was talking about.
Right.
Chessie was like, I get that Chessie was like, he's not that suave. And I was like, okay. Yeah. But she was like, he's not that charming. And I was like, that's not true.
Yeah, that is not true. He got a girl to marry him in 3 or less days.
Yeah, after being on a cruise for 2 days.
Mm-hmm. He got something.
Yeah, he has something going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm willing to find out what it is. Anyway, Annie goes down to the pool and she meets Meredith, who gushes about Nick and the fact that he's told her so much about her and how, they're such a good team, her and quote unquote Hallie. Annie asks how old Meredith is, and she says that she's 26. And when she asks how old her dad is, he quickly changes the subject to get wine to celebrate Hallie coming home. Nick leaves and Meredith gets a phone call, which Annie listens in on. Meredith lies to whoever she's on the phone with, saying that Nick can't go participate in some charity event because he'll be out of the country. When she's done with the phone call, Meredith tries to ask Annie about camp, and Annie immediately is like, so my dad's going out of the country? When's that going on? And Meredith says that she had to make up a little lie because it was necessary. And then tells...
Annie gets so butthurt at this. She's like, why are you lying to people? And I'm like...
Girl, you're lying right now.
Girl, go walk in the house, look in the mirror, and then walk back out.
Right.
And then we
Right.
could
Look at
talk
where
about,
you are
yeah,
and where you're supposed to be.
you're in a whole nother country
Yes.
than where you're supposed to be in right now.
Yeah.
All she did was stop him from going to a charity event.
Right. Who's the bigger liar?
Yeah.
Annie
Also, can
and
we talk about how Meredith was trying to be nice at the beginning of this
she
movie?
really was. She was trying.
She was trying. She was like, I can put up with this. Like, I want his money.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
can put up with this.
Yeah. She's like she can be a little mouthy, but
I can make this work.
the money outweighs the kid.
But then it gets worse
it
for
stacks
her.
up very
and
quickly.
Then she's like, oh no, they need to go.
Absolutely not. Meredith then tells Annie that Nick talked about her all the time. Annie says that they only have each other and purposefully makes a huge splash jumping in the water to get Meredith wet. Meredith is irritated, but she brushes it off, saying that she rode Hallie's horse the other day and asks if it was okay. She's trying to connect with Hallie in a way.
Yeah, she's trying.
She's trying.
Justice for Meredith.
Yeah. Annie then says that her horse is used to having random strange women riding her and that compared to the others, she's pretty normal. Annie then makes up a bunch of lies and says that Meredith is the 29th woman in Nick's life and that she's being shown his like dating routine that he does with all the other women. Back in London with Hallie, Martin answers the phone, is surprised to hear Annie on the phone, but Hallie answers behind him. And he says that he sounds exactly like her. And Hallie quickly takes the phone call into a closet so that she can talk freely.
Mm-hmm. Imagine the phone bills.
Imagine
those phone bills from those international calls.
Right. Like y'all.
This was the 90s.
This was the 90s.
Like they charged an arm and a leg for an international call.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they would even charge like even interstate and stuff like that. But like international?
Yeah.
Like you think now they charge a lot for international, then? If you know somebody in a different country, good luck.
Now, if you live in America, you can go to Mexico and still use your data plan and it won't charge you anything extra.
Yeah.
Back then, they would have charged you. So just imagine how much they charged for England.
Right. So Hallie gushes about their mom, but Annie stops her saying that she has to bring their mom to the States immediately because their dad is in love. Hallie doesn't believe her because she's like, have you seen my dad? But Annie insists. Hallie still isn't listening and says that she wants more time with their mom and that Annie has to deal with it herself. And she does the whole like, oh, you're cutting out, and like hangs up the phone. When Hallie leaves the closet, she finds Martin, her mom, and her grandfather standing outside waiting for her. And she tries to explain that it's an old camp tradition to talk to your friends in a closet and it's strange and whatever. And they buy it.
She could have just said the truth. Like, I want some privacy.
Privacy. Right. No.
They lie about a lot of stuff that they don't need to lie about.
Yeah. Like, lying in their situation just made it more suspicious.
Yeah. There were, like, their overall lie, like, keep that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, these smaller lies they keep telling, they could not tell them, and then they would look less suspicious.
Yeah. Like, the best way to lie is to give a little bit of truth.
A little bit of truth. Like, later on, when they get caught making international phone calls again, who is it? Annie? Annie lies to Chessie.
Yeah, she's about to lie to Chessie here.
And I'm like, why didn't you just tell her the truth?
Right.
Like, I'm talking to a friend. She's in a different country.
Yeah. You don't have to specify.
Yeah, you don't have to do the whole truth.
Right.
Tell half a truth.
What does this say about us?
We're good liars.
Liars.
We're good liars. That's what this says.
So the next day with Annie, she's having breakfast with Chessie, and she makes her a really good breakfast, and I am angry at Annie for not eating any of it. I'm not so angry.
I'm not a fan of chocolate. There was too much chocolate on the pancakes, but other than that,
the fact that she made her toast, eggs, and pancakes, girl. At least eat one full like dish.
Right? At least eat some eggs.
Right. That's a waste.
One pancake. Come on,
One
girl.
pancake, half a pancake, and an egg. Just
But literally, that's how my sister eats.
really.
That's literally how much she'll take a bite out of something and be like, I'm done.
Wow. What a
And that's
life.
why she's 14 and weighs like 90 pounds.
So Chessie points out that she has barely eaten since she got back. She didn't eat her favorite chili the other night, and now she's not eating her breakfast. And she also says that she knows that she was making late night phone calls in her bathroom. Annie says that she was on the phone with a friend from camp who lives in New York City. And Chessie's like, oh yeah, make a phone call at a later time so that you be considerate for her and her time zone. And Annie's like, yeah. That's exactly why I did it.
She's
and
not from
Chessie's
America
like,
and does not know.
yeah, she clearly does not know the time zones. And Chessie points out that it was 3 a.m. in New York City when she made the phone call. So Annie tries to cover it up and say that, oh, she's on vacation in Bora Bora. And that's why I'm calling her in the middle of the night. It's not 3 a.m. It's, better in Bora Bora.
Is it? Who knows?
Yeah, is it? Who knows? So Chessie still thinks that something is up, but tells her that her dad wants to meet her in his office. And then she takes a very tiny bite of toast and leaves. Annie then sees her dad in one of the wine storages and says he wants to talk to her about Meredith, while Annie says that she wants to talk about her mom. Nick tries to get out of it, but Annie says that she needs a mom, and he almost tells her something when Meredith shows up. Meredith introduces Annie and her assistant and asks Nick secretly if he has told Annie about them. He says no, which prompts her to say that all three of them should have lunch together. But Nick says that he's going to spend the afternoon with his daughter. Meredith says okay, but before speeding off in her golf cart, tells her assistant that the first change that she is making is to send Hallie to a boarding school in Timbuktu. So Annie and her dad go out with their horses, and they stop to give their horses a rest. And he brings up their annual camping trip, which Annie forgets about. Says that she forgot about, but covers it up. Nick then asks Annie what she thinks about Meredith, which she says she doesn't know because she's basically a stranger. And she asks why he wants her opinion. And when he tries to answer her, she races away on her horse and runs back to the house. Back at the house, Annie freaks out and speaks with her regular accent until she is spooked by Jessie, who has been in the same room the whole time. And she points out her accent and the way she's been talking. Jessie questions her about why she's changed so much and almost slips that if she didn't know any better, she could be her twin sister, which she doesn't say. Annie asks who she's talking about, and Jessie says it's impossible. There's nothing to talk about. And Annie says that if she's probably talking about Annie herself.
Yeah.
Jessie is surprised, but Annie admits to who she really is. When her dad walks in on them, demanding why she ran away with him. When Jessie starts to cry. Nick asks her what's going on, but she says that she's okay. And that, she's looking at Hallie, quote unquote Hallie, the same way she is since she was born. And then she goes to fix special foods for Annie because, this is the first time she's meeting her in a while. So she wants to do something special. Nick finally sits Annie down after Jessie leaves and asks how she would feel if he made a Meredith part of the family. She's super enthusiastic. I still love this response. And says that she always wanted a big sister and that it's so good of him that he's adopting her. Nick says that he's not adopting her, but he's marrying her instead. This upsets Annie and makes her speak in French, which she says that she learned at camp. And when she tries to calm herself down, and she can't. So she just yells at her father that he's ruining everything and runs away. Meredith then shows up And Nick is still stressed from Annie's adoption comment. So she offers to get him a drink.
And the fact that she was speaking French. He was
Yeah,
like, where did that come
Yeah,
from?
where did that come from? Meredith
Like
then
I
takes...
said, you get cussed out by a kid in French and you just
You really
don't know what to
don't know what's
say.
going on.
You're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Right.
What's happening here?
Meredith then takes a bell out of a box and rings it for a
That
bit.
was ridiculous.
Calling for Chessie, which if I was Chessie, I would have not answered.
Right? I'm not answering to a bell.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Do not.
I'm not an animal. You can't ring me into my corral. Like, that's not happening.
Exactly. This is basically my that scene in Psalm.
Oh yeah. Psalm is Sound of Music. That's how we.
Sound of
we
music.
call it.
Yeah, so we don't have to really trigger ourselves by saying the full name.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that episode, do that, so you know why we are so triggered. Anyway, Chessie shows up irritated and was like, "You rang." And Meredith tells her to get both of them drinks, and she goes and does it anyway, which I would have spat in her drink and brought it back. Nick then tells Meredith how Annie reacted to the news, but she's not bothered by it and suggests that she goes to talk to her herself. Meredith finds Annie and tries to relate to her by doing the whole, I was 11 once and blah, 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 blah. But Annie cuts her off saying that she does exactly what she's doing and that she's marrying her dad just for the money. And Meredith's like, no. This is the real deal. I'm really in love with your father. The money doesn't hurt.
All right. Does not hurt.
Doesn't hurt. But that's not the main reason, which is a lie. And she tells Annie that she shouldn't step to her because she will take her down. And Annie says that she understands. So back in London, a fax shows up to the house with 911 on it with a picture of Sammy. And Martin is the one that picks it up and carries it out with him while he brings wine to Hallie and the others who are having lunch.
Sure.
An early dinner. Hallie then tries the wine and does the fancy wine tasting thing, which surprises her mom and grandfather. And then she sees the note behind Martin's back. She quickly excuses herself from the house, and Hallie runs to a public telephone to call Annie.
Why? Is there a reason why she ran to a payphone?
I don't. Oh, yeah, that's the word for it, payphone. I like public telephone. I don't know. Because I was literally thinking of it. I'm like, I don't remember what the term is. But I think.
Yeah, guys, we're Gen Zers. We don't know what payphones are. No,
payphones are disgusting. Don't touch payphones.
My church had a payphone for the longest time.
Really?
Yes. They took it out a couple of years ago. Thank God. No one ever used it.
I mean, there's still payphones in Calistoga, which is in the Napa County. And I remember seeing them and I was like, oh, wow.
Who even has change anymore?
I love change. If I pay in cash, I love paying in the full amount. That's just me. Anyway.
Like, I don't even like using my card anymore. I like to just use my Apple
just the ding it. Yeah. Yep. So, wow, Hallie and Annie with these collect calls.
Yes.
And these are long phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So once Hallie picks up the phone, Annie picks up the phone, Annie tells her that her dad is really going to get married in 2 weeks. And Hallie has to tell her mom what's going on so that she can bring her mom to the States. Hallie says that she'll tell her the next morning. So they hang up, and Hallie exits the phone booth and bumps into somebody and goes to apologize. And it turns out to be her grandfather, who says, let's go for a walk and we'll talk about things. So
how did he catch up to her?
Right. He caught up pretty quickly.
Because she ran like at least a block or two.
Yeah, she ran a couple of blocks. She ran through the park and like 2 blocks over and then got to the payphone. So Hallie tells her grandfather everything while they go on their walk around the park. The next morning, Hallie paces in front of her mom's room when grandfather pushes her in. Her mom hangs up the phone and Hallie climbs into bed with her. Her mom says, let's go out for lunch after I get some work done. But Hallie says that she can't because she has to go out of town. And Liz asks her where she's going, and she says she's going to go see Annie. Her grandfather shows up at the front of the room, and she looks at him, and her mom asks where Annie is, and Hallie says that she's in Napa with her father. She looks to her father in shock, Liz does, and Hallie explains that her and Annie have switched because Hallie wanted to see her mom and Annie wanted to see her dad. And that's when Elizabeth hugs her. Hallie says that they have to switch them now because, well, Liz says that she has to switch it now because I don't know if it's legally or what, but Annie belongs to her and Hallie belongs to Nick.
Well, Annie is not even an American citizen. So
that is also true.
That's one problem.
That is one of the many problems.
Yes.
And she says that they have to go to California to meet them. We then see Elizabeth freaking out to Martin while she packs because she hasn't seen Nick in 11 years.
Okay. The frazzled Liz is me like every other day.
Yeah.
Or if they get my order wrong at Taco Bell. But that's me.
It's either a major inconvenience or a minor one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Sometimes it's like nothing at all. Like I just drop something.
Yeah.
And then I just have a mental breakdown for 2 days. But yeah, that's me.
It's me putting something a little too close to the edge on my desk and then me shifting a little bit and knocking it over and the biggest sigh just leaving me.
Yeah. Or when you've already had a bad day
and
then you walk into your room or something and then like your little pants buckle gets stuck on the doorknob.
Yeah. And then you yank yourself really hard and you're just like, I want to end it all.
It makes you want to burn your house down. Yeah. Yeah.
And so Liz says that Nick has always made her a little crazy and she maybe can't handle seeing him again. And that's the whole reason they came up with this agreement so that they will never have to see each other ever again. Hallie then goes into the room and tells her that she's ready to go, but Liz clearly isn't. Hallie then says that she just got off the phone with her dad and that he's anxious and excited to see her and that he will meet them tomorrow in San Francisco at the Stafford Hotel. But Martin...
we'll get there.
Martin clearly sees that she is lying, but doesn't mention it to Liz. Liz then invites Martin to come with them on the trip, not as their butler, but like as a family friend, so that she will feel less anxious. He then suggests her little black dress for her to wear on the trip to see her ex, which, good on you, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Good on you. The group then says goodbye to grandfather and they fly to California. In San Francisco, at the Stafford Hotel, Meredith coaches her parents to be perfect before Annie, Nick, Chessie, and Sammy show up.
And here we go. The Stafford Hotel does not exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. And also, if it did exist, it would not be near the water.
Yeah.
There are no hotels like
there are no
in San
hotels
Francisco that are near the water.
They're in the center.
Yeah, they're all in the center of the city.
Yeah. And the how they show the outdoor pool, they make it seem like
it's a great day.
It's a grand, it's a great day, first of all. It's sunny in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which happens
they
maybe
went one of the 3 days a year. It's nice to go swimming in San Francisco.
Right. Also,
and they're right by a marina.
Yeah, they're right by the marina.
Which does not exist that I can think. No, there is one, but like it's by the bridge and there's like no hotel around there. There's like a Safeway over there. Like there's no...
Yeah. Like the closest thing to where all those boats are is Oracle Park.
Yeah.
Where you can see from the park all of the ships and like little boats they have there. But there are no nice hotels around there.
No hotels that big and no hotels.
There's apartments.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Also, the pier that they show is close to pier 39.
Oh yeah.
So
and then when they go on the yacht later, what bridge is that?
Yeah. What bridge is it?
What bridge is that?
That don't look like the Bay Bridge.
No.
And it don't look like the Golden Gate.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And they show the pool like on the like some ground level in the back.
Yeah, not on the top of the hotel like it would
right,
be.
like it would be. Why do people who not live in San Francisco think San Francisco is big enough to have stuff like
Right? Every time they base a movie in San Francisco, they always do ridiculous stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
You
I'm
can
like,
always tell that
yeah.
they've never been to San Francisco before.
I'm like, did y'all do any research?
Right. Like Princess Diaries, the high school, Liberty High, too big.
Yeah. Too big.
Way too big.
I mean, that building, the exterior of that building exists in San Francisco.
That's an actual house in San Francisco,
But the size of it in the movie is not the same.
Yeah.
Like it's not proportionate.
The tennis, like basketball court area, that's a separate tennis court area.
Yeah.
Just by itself. And then the field that they
have a baseball field. Like
they have a baseball field. Yeah.
In the middle of San Francisco. In the middle of baseball field.
We don't do that around here.
No. There's all of this area encompasses a school.
Yeah.
A baseball field, a basketball field, and a tennis court.
Yeah. No.
That's not a thing. Does not exist.
Does not exist. Sorry to burst that bubble.
Yeah.
So they all make introductions with one another while Hallie, Martin, and a very drunk Elizabeth arrive at the hotel. Annie and her group break to freshen up before they do a tour of the hotel because it's a potential venue for the wedding. And they agree to meet at the bar when Sammy catches the scent and pulls Chessie and Annie away. Hallie, Martin, and Elizabeth enter an elevator, but wait because Elizabeth has left her purse at the front desk. So she goes to get her purse, and Sammy pulls Chessie and Annie right to Hallie, and the dog jumps over, and the elevator then closes. Elizabeth gets her bag and turns around to see Annie and Chessie, who tries to hide from her. Elizabeth then tells Annie to go upstairs while she goes to get fresh air. Chessie and Annie then head upstairs to their room. Nick and Meredith then show up immediately afterwards, and they get into another elevator, but Nick sees Elizabeth while the doors are closing.
Yeah, they're going upstairs to have a quickie.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah. Elizabeth then storms up to their floor and yells for Hallie, and both girls show up. And Annie is reunited with her mom, and Liz goes to talk to both of them when Chessie drags them into their room to talk privately. Elizabeth still remembers Chessie, and she is surprised that she still remembers her. Liz then freaks out because she saw Nick with another woman and was shocked, and Nick was shocked to see her, and she's accusing the girls of lying to her. Martin steps out in a Speedo, wanting to go swimming.
Hey, you can't blame Liz for being shocked because it was shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking. There was no need for that.
At all.
You're also not expecting that at all.
Yeah, like why are people who are not like swimmers wearing Speedos? There's no reason to wear a Speedo unless you are doing a race.
Yeah.
Where you need to be aerodynamic. There's no need for you to be wearing a Speedo.
Also, why are they always over the age of 40?
Always.
Like, what is that?
No reason.
Yeah, there isn't a reason. Martin then meets Chessie, and they like each other instantly. There's like their cute little sparks between them. Liz then asks the girls why they lied to her, and Martin and Chessie try to slip away, but Liz stops them, saying that they all know something that she doesn't. Annie then tells her mom that Nick is going to be married and that they were planning to stop it by bringing Liz back and setting them up together instead.
Yeah.
Chessie and Martin try to sneak off again, but Liz stops them and asks if they know, which they both confess that they do. Liz then says that her and Nick don't have anything in common anymore and that he probably never wants to see her. And her only purpose...
children together. So, you need to talk to each other.
Yeah. A little bit.
a little bit. At least to know how your other child is doing.
Right. She says that her only purpose now is to switch the girls, and then she's going home. We then see Nick in a rush after seeing Liz, and he is on his way down to the lobby when he catches Annie, who he mistakes for Hal. He tells her to look after Meredith while he goes and does something. Once in the lobby, he searches for Elizabeth, but bumps into the real Hallie, and he notices the outfit change, but doesn't really say anything about it, and says that she's supposed to be with Meredith, and she covers by saying, "Oh, she's looking for her because she stepped out," and he sends her back up to go see her.
He just lets his child just walk around this hotel by herself.
Yeah, I think he relies very heavily on Jessie.
Like
for the raising of his
she
daughter.
is 11 years old. He just go find Meredith.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Like, you're not gonna escort her back up to the room or something. Like, what? You didn't even ask her what she was doing down there and like really interrogated her.
Yeah. He was like, okay, well, I need to go find your mother that you don't know about, so you need to leave.
Yeah. Right. So Meredith steps out of the elevator when Hallie is trying to go up, and Meredith asks where Hallie's father is. Hallie is difficult, but eventually says that her father went the opposite way, and Meredith tells her to tell Hallie all of these names, and that if Hallie sees her father, to tell him that he is late to meet Meredith and her family. Meredith then goes to the bar while Elizabeth is already there getting a drink to cure her hangover. She cheers her drink to Meredith, and when she gets her drink, she gets the bill as well, and she signs it.
Can we talk about the fact that Meredith ordered a dry martini? She might as well have ordered bath water.
I've never had one, so
martinis are the beverages of demons.
Really?
Yeah, she was pretty much drinking Satan's piss. Martinis are the worst alcohol I've ever had. It has to be the vermouth that's in there, whatever it's called. I know it's gin and vermouth.
I think
it had to have been the vermouth, because I think I've had gin and other drinks before. It has to be vermouth.
And I've heard that gin drinks are like pretty good. They're like you add anything to it and it's good.
Yeah, so it has to be vermouth.
It has to be, yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding when I tell you it tasted like what I think bath water tastes like.
Oh.
It was so fucking disgusting. I believe that vermouth is the worst alcohol ever. I'm going to say that right now. It is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It will ruin this planet.
And the people who drink it.
When Adam and Eve ate that apple, the juice that came out was vermouth. Like, we are all dying. If you say you like martinis, you're lying.
You're lying.
There's no way.
You're lying, or you're too drunk to remember exactly what it tastes like.
Yeah, you obviously had some other drinks before that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then by the time you got to your martini, you were so drunk you didn't even have taste buds anymore.
Yeah. So you just downed it and you're like, this is great.
Yeah. The way I feel.
Do not get dirty martinis. No. Do not get dry martinis, though.
The way I feel about martinis is probably the way some people feel about Fireball. Like, I love Fireball.
Oh.
I love Fireball. Yeah. The cinnamon taste is great to me. But a lot of people are like, Fireball is disgusting.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
But I love it.
Alcohol discourse.
Don't understand how you like martinis, though. Can't see it.
Meredith notices Liz's signature and finds out that she is the Elizabeth James wedding dress designer. Meredith then talks to Liz and says that she tried to get in touch with her to get a gown made, but her office says that she was out of town and that meeting her at the hotel in San Francisco was fate. We then see Nick out by the pool looking for Liz, and he keeps running into people and generally not paying attention to where he is. and he bumps into Meredith's parents, and they try to talk to him, but he is unresponsive when he sees Liz from across the pool. Nick steps away and tries to make his way to her, but he falls into the pool. He then gets out soaking wet, and they meet, finally. He says that there's definitely something going on because she isn't surprised that they are meeting here at the hotel. The twins then show up and they explain the switch. He hugs each of them and he gets the twins to leave so that the adults can talk. Once alone, Nick dries off and finds a cut on his head, which Elizabeth goes to bandage. They talk for a moment, but they are interrupted by Meredith, who gets the feeling that they know one another. The twins then show up, which surprises her, and they explain that Elizabeth is their mother. Meredith kind of catches on to what the twins are doing with her parents in the weekend, and she's getting very irritated.
Can we talk about the fact that the dad was never going to tell Meredith that Hallie was a twin?
And that he was previously married?
Yeah. Meredith really wanted his money because
she saw that and she's like, that's fine.
If I had heard that, I would be like, oh, we're gonna have to minimum push this wedding back.
Yeah. At most, we're getting a therapist.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about whatever's going on here. So that night, Hallie and Annie have a surprise for their parents. Everybody is dressed up. Liz is in her cute little black dress, and Nick notices. They are taken to a pier down near Pier 39 and show that they are having dinner on a boat in the bay.
Pier 39. Pier 39 is nowhere near, nowhere that close to the Bay Bridge. And it didn't even look like the Bay Bridge.
It did not.
So
it did not.
Where was this?
Like, it looked like an idealized version of the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
Like, it looks a lot prettier now. Like, it looks like now in the movie.
Yeah, the Bay Bridge now is very pretty. But,
yeah.
But that took some years.
Yeah. In 98, whenever it says in the movie, it did not look like that.
No. Like, it has a light show now.
Yeah, it does. It's very beautiful. If you haven't seen it, look it up. But back then, it was literally just a gray bridge. It was a gray bridge.
Gray, and then looked like it could fall apart at any moment because they hastily rebuilt it after that earthquake where it collapsed.
Yeah, a section of it collapsed.
Yeah. So
yeah. Also, the pier that they show them driving a car down, it's not that big in real life.
It's not.
You cannot drive a car down there. You can't even get a car down there.
Oh, where was this? Had to have been like Southern California. It had to.
Probably.
I'm thinking like San Diego, maybe.
Probably.
None of this is adding up.
Yeah. They literally just picked a place and they're like, yeah, this can pass for San Diego.
I'm thinking this happened in like San Diego.
So they somehow get to the boat.
Because the pier that
they're on.
It was a yacht.
They get to the yacht somehow from the pier that they're on, which that's not how that pier works. No. Anyway, Liz and Nick question how they are paying for this, and the girls admit that they and their grandfather paid for the yacht for the night. That must have been freaking expensive.
Yeah, wow. Because like my grandfather, if I asked for money right now, he would give me money. If I told him I needed every dollar out of his bank account right now for something, he would be like, okay, but he would never rent a yacht for me.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Yeah, whose grandfather is doing that for them?
Yeah. Who gets like a call from their granddaughters and they're like, yeah, we need you to rent
we need $15,000 probably, I'm just guessing, to rent a yacht.
And that's probably on the very low end.
Yeah, because that was a very big yacht.
Yeah, and you're in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
we need 15,000 American dollars to rent.
Wired.
Yeah, which costs money. To rent this yacht for 2 hours.
And it's not like today where you could probably go on a website somewhere and just be like, yeah, I'm paying with this credit card. Let me input my information. No,
No, he had to
that's not how that worked.
call the place. He
Yeah.
had to do a wire transfer with foreign exchange
Yeah.
rates.
Rates. Yeah.
The amount of money that man paid for that boat.
Yeah. He must really love his granddaughters.
Really love his granddaughters.
They show their parents the room while they'll be eating, and they notice that the table's only set for two. The girls say that they aren't joining them, but Chessie and Martin show up, and they say that they will be serving them dinner for tonight. The girls have recreated their first night when they met, kind of basically going off of their wedding photo. And Nick is kind of getting swept up in the romantic movement, while Lizzie is kind of cautious about what's going on. Chessie and Martin have their own little moment outside of the room, like they're crushed together and they have to like look deep into each other's eyes. Dinner is then served and they talk about where they ended up in life. They got kind of what they wanted. Liz ended up as a dress designer while Nick got his vineyard. And they also talk about what they're going to do with the girls because, now that they know one another, they don't want to be separated.
Oh, wow. Now they don't want to be separated.
No, they don't want to be separated. They talk about the day Lizzie packed, and she said that they were young, and after a really hard fight, she left and he didn't come after her. Lizzie then changes the subject and says that they should just enjoy the rest of this evening for the girls' sake. The next morning, both Nick and Lizzie get ready to leave with their respective daughter. When the twins come down...
Respective daughter. It sounds so formal.
It does. It sounds very removed from what's actually happening.
They're dragging these girls away from each other. And we're like, just take your respective daughter.
Yeah. It's like you split up a set and you get one half, you get the other.
It's like we're talking about in their divorce how they were splitting up furniture and not children.
Yeah, it's like, do you want the house? Oh, you don't want the house? Okay, fine, I'll take the house. But you can have the dog. That's great.
I'll take the house and you can have the dog.
Yeah. That's basically what's going on here.
But with human lives.
Yes. Young human lives. The twins then come down and they give them a proposition saying that they want to do their annual camping trip before school starts and that they want it to be just the four of them, just a cool little family trip. Liz and Nick tell them to stop the act that they're doing and that Lizzie and Annie are getting on their plane that afternoon to go to London, no matter what. They are then at Nick's house packing the car for the camping trip while Meredith argues with him about the trip, and she's super annoyed when she finds out that Lizzie is also going with them.
Why did you think she was there?
Yeah, right. Liz agrees that, there's something strange going on here and that it's weird that the ex-wife and the fiance, well, the ex-wife is going and not the fiance. So she invites Meredith to go with them and Meredith agrees.
Yeah.
When the twins see that Meredith is going with them, they are upset, but their dad tells them to be nice. And this was all their mother's idea.
Okay. So I've never understood people who are willing to marry someone that their children don't like.
Yeah.
Never made sense to me.
Mm-mm.
Never made sense to me. So something happens later in the movie.
Yeah.
And it low-key surprised me because he seems like the kind of man who would put his new wife above his children.
Yeah, right. He's willing to pick her above them all until now. You may think that who would pick their spouse over their children? Right.
Let me take you to a few years ago. I'm on Facebook and there are people discussing who they would save in a fire, their spouse or their child. Way too many people were picking their spouse, talking about, I can have another child. I was disgusted.
They should never have kids.
Never have kids.
That's terrible.
Too many people were picking their
disgusting.
spouses.
At
talking
the
about
same time, you could argue you can get a new
you could
spouse.
get a new spouse easily.
The only
Talking,
thing that's tying you is a legal contract.
yeah, talking about, oh, how I don't want to raise my children by myself, so you'll let them die,
Right, right, right. Like, you'd go in to save your dog
right?
and your spouse, but not the kid.
Those posts solidified my thought that this world needs to end. It was at that moment I was like, the world needs to end.
Yeah, that's gross.
We've made it past the point of no return. Like, no. When you get to the moment where people are picking their spouse over their children,
Right.
that's when the world needs to end. I'm
That's
just
a
gonna
good indicator that it's going downhill.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. If you would pick your spouse over your children for any reason, please do not have children.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
These are the people that say you can have another kid.
Disgusting. I hope
Gross.
you never have another child.
Yeah. That's not how this works.
No.
So everyone is in the Jeep when Liz comes down and she tells them that she is not going.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, why are you not going?
Meredith then tries to opt out, saying that she knows she's not a nature girl, whatever. But Lizzie tells her that she should stay because in a couple of weeks she'll be kind of half parent to the girls, and that this will be a good trip to get everybody bonded. Liz knew exactly what she was doing to this girl.
Mm-hmm.
She knew exactly what was going on here. So they start their hike to the camping spot, and Meredith is very obviously struggling and stops the trek to rest. Annie puts rocks in her Prada bag, which she brought on a camping trip. And a lizard on her water bottle, which freaks Meredith out. Their dad goes to take the lead and tells the girls to watch over Meredith and to behave. Annie then puts the lizard that was on the water bottle onto Meredith's head. Hallie then calls Meredith Cruella, and Meredith hears it and says that she knows what the twins are up to and that she will make their lives hard the minute she is their mother. The twins then run away, saying that something is on her head, and it's the lizard again, which ends up in her mouth. Nick then comes back to check on Meredith and everybody because she's screaming her head off, and the twins act innocent. That night at the campsite, Meredith complains about the food and the mosquitoes, and she's just had enough of it. So she says she's going to bed, and she's taking a huge sleeping pill. She then goes to her tent and starts banging sticks together to ward off mountain lions when Nick asks what she's doing. And she looks at the girls, and she then goes to, like, I don't know, make a show in front of the girls.
What was she doing?
Yeah, was she staking a claim? I don't know what she was
who
doing.
was she showing off to? That was weird.
Yeah, you don't do that.
It was, if I were Nick at that very moment, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, same. Like, those are my kids, bro. No.
No. You putting your tongue down my throat is not appropriate.
Yeah. This is not hot. This is not turning me on in any way. This is just gross. My two daughters are sitting 2 feet away from me. This is not it. Meredith then kisses Nick in front of the girls before going to her tent. She acts like she did a victory lap around them or something. I don't know. Like she dunked on them. Nick then tells the twins to stop tormenting Meredith because she's not super outdoorsy and whatever, and to give her a break. That night, Annie and Hallie drag Meredith on her blow-up mattress and push her out into the lake.
That's actually a good prank to pull.
That is a good prank.
That's a good prank.
The next morning, Meredith is awoken by a bird on her chest and finds out that she's in the middle of the lake. She freaks out. Honestly, if she kept her cool and just paddled back to the shore, she would have been fine.
Yeah.
But she freaks out.
Stood up.
She stood up on a blow-up mattress. First mistake. And then she started flailing around and freaking out, and she ends up in the water. Meredith then storms out of the water and gives Nick the ultimatum of choosing her or the girls. And Nick obviously chooses his girls. And Meredith,
Obviously, it
obviously,
wasn't looking that
it
obvious,
wasn't
but
looking that obvious at first. And Meredith screams at him. We then see Nick and the girls show up without Meredith, which surprises Liz. The girls say that they are in trouble forever for playing some tricks on Meredith and that she's gone after throwing the ring back at Nick. Liz apologizes for being part of this whole mess, and Nick sends the girls to Hallie's room. Nick asks where Chessie is, and Lizzie says that her and Martin left for a picnic yesterday and that they haven't returned yet. Ooh la la. Nick says that he'll make pasta for dinner that night. So that night, Nick makes sure that the girls are in their room before taking Lizzie down to his private stash. He shows her his collection before bringing up the same wine that they had at their wedding. She asks if they can have some, and he says that she's the only one he would ever drink this wine with. Liz starts to cry, and Nick tells her that she doesn't need to be brave all the time. And they almost kiss, but are interrupted by car lights, and Chessie comes into the house, and the moment is broken between them. The next day, the girls, Nick, Lizzie, Chessie, and Martin say goodbye to one another. Annie and Liz are taken back to London, and they end up at their house, and they look for their grandfather. Liz checks the study to find out that Hallie is there and says that they took a flight right after them and that they wanted to come get them because they didn't want to lose them again. Liz asks who the we is, and Nick shows up saying that he doesn't want to leave her ever again and that he's willing to spend the rest of his life with her. He goes to her, and after some protests, they finally kiss, and the twins celebrate that they actually got their parents back together. We are then shown pictures of Liz and Nick's wedding, and we also find out that Martin and Chessie are engaged.
okay.
And
Okay.
that's when the movie ends.
Okay. So, hi. I don't want a wedding. I don't want to spend all that money. I don't want all that stress in my life. But if I do have a wedding, if someone proposes at my wedding, they will be dragged out by security. Me and my wife did not do all this work for you to come up in here and propose on my wedding day. There are 364 other days of the year you can propose to someone. You are not proposing on my wedding day.
Yeah, there are no big announcements happening on my wedding day.
That is rude as fuck. Yeah, none. I don't care if you're pregnant. I don't care if you're dying. I don't care if you want to propose to someone. I don't care any of that. I don't care if you got a new job.
I don't care if you got divorced. I don't care.
Don't care.
This is my day.
Announce it the day before or the day after. You're not announcing. You're not doing that crap on my wedding day.
No.
That's supposed to be my happy day.
Right. This is my day.
My day.
No announcements.
No, none. Yeah. None.
Yeah, no, this is my day. How dare you?
Why would anyone do that? That's so freaking rude. That's like me going to your baby shower and being like, oh, by the way, I'm having twins. Like, why would you do that?
No, because it's funny. One of my coworkers, she got engaged at her not then sister-in-law's wedding at the reception. Yeah.
No, that's not okay. That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's a fight waiting to happen.
Yeah. You know what? You know what you should do? You should do what like a lot of other people I saw on TikTok doing, make a list of of things that you don't want to happen at your wedding. Oh,
I've seen those.
Yeah. Number one, no announcements.
Number one, I don't want a wedding. But number two,
do those like court weddings and then have a reception later.
Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Paying all that money to be sitting there at a church for not even an hour? No, absolutely not.
We're just gonna party later. That's literally.
And then like I like to go places. So of course I would be bougie and I would want a destination wedding. Of course. So not paying for that. We can do a courthouse wedding, and then we all take a trip somewhere.
That
That
actually sounds really nice.
sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
We take a nice trip to the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stay in one of those little over the water bungalow
Ooh,
thingies.
those are nice.
Yes, just rent out like a whole section of it. All for
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I love
Sounds
this.
nice.
So let me hit you with some movie facts.
Okay.
You already stole one of them. Kate Graham from the
Cat
Vampire
grab. Yep,
Diaries.
got it.
She's one of Annie's friends. We get 2 minutes of her in the beginning. This is Lindsay Lohan's first movie.
You can tell the acting isn't that great.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's okay for a child.
Yeah, it's for a child actor. This is not bad. Would you like to guess who auditioned to be Hallie/Annie?
How old is Lindsay Lohan? Because obviously I don't know, because I did not know the cat grab was the same age.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Okay. While you do that, I'm just going to name some people. Kristen Bell.
No.
Is Hilary Duff the same age? Hilary Duff. I know she was a child actress.
Lindsay Lohan is 34.
34. Okay. Ashley Tisdale.
No.
Who's that girl who played Blair on that one show about the rich kids?
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl. What's her name?
No.
Not her.
I will give you some hints.
Okay.
This first person is an Avenger.
Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she did. Is she not older than Lindsay Lohan?
She might be a little bit older, but I don't think she's that much older.
Okay.
Maybe she's like 36. Yeah, she's 36.
Okay.
Okay. The other one is from a popular 90s, early 2000s TV show.
I already said Hilary Duff, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
It's not a Disney or a Nickelodeon or anything like that.
Okay. I have no idea. Who?
Vampires.
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No, she's one of the actors though. Not one of the main ones in the beginning.
The girl who played Willow? Don't know her name.
No.
Michelle whatever her last name is, starts with a T. Trachtenberg. There we go.
Yeah. She also auditioned.
The Ice Princess. Got it.
Yes, Ice Princess. I don't know if you'll get this one, but she was in the Hunger Games. She's in the second movie.
The girl who played Joanna? I don't know her name.
Jenna Malone.
Yeah, the girl who played.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes,
that sounds right. Because I was like, can't be Jennifer Lawrence.
No. Mm-mm. And then we get Mara Wilson, who played Matilda.
Oh, okay.
And we get your favorite.
Beyonce?
No, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite whenever I ask you? Who auditioned for this part? We're all in this.
There is no way.
No, it's not. It's not.
Thank God. I was trying to do the math in my head and I was like, that's not adding up. I was like, that's not adding up. I was like, she's...
her name is Tina, I hope I'm saying this right. Majorino. She's from Napoleon Dynamite. She's
I don't remember
Napoleon's girlfriend near the end.
That awkward girl?
Yeah, the one with like the side pony.
Ew, okay.
Yeah.
I only remember 3 people from that movie. I remember Napoleon. Whoa. I just mixed up 2 people. I remember Napoleon. I remember Pedro. And I remember Hilary Duff's sister. That's it. What's her name? Haley? Haley Duff.
I don't remember. This movie took 8 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days to shoot.
Why?
Which seems very quick.
That seems very long. Why?
Oh, I don't know.
That seems like the amount of...
Well, they said that a lot of the scenes, had to be done twice. Because Lindsay had to do Hallie and then Annie.
Yeah.
And some shots took like 6 hours to do because they had to keep switching.
I used to think that she was a twin. Like she was actually...
Yeah, me too. Same. Same. Lohan had her ears pierced specifically for this movie. And in the UK, the ear piercing scene was removed to discourage copycat behavior. And it was later cut from...
In America, they were like, we don't give a fuck.
No. It was cut from the Disney Channel's broadcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you didn't see the movie directly from VHS or something, you did not see the ear piercing part.
Well, it's in there on Disney Plus.
It's in there on Disney Plus. Different time now. And last but not least, Joanna Barnes, who played the wicked girlfriend of Vicki Robinson in the original 1961 The Parent Trap. Mm-hmm. She plays Meredith Blake's mother in this movie.
Good for her.
Yeah. And she looks honestly kind of the same. Like her hairstyle and stuff looks the same to like the original movie. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
So, iconic?
Yes, it is iconic.
It is iconic.
It had me thinking for years that Lindsay Lohan had a twin.
Same.
Yeah. Also, I watch it every time it comes on TV.
Same.
So yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah, it's one of those feel-good movies. Also, did you ever try to learn the secret handshake between Martin and
Ain't nobody got time for that. No. Absolutely.
There's 18 moves to that.
Also, the songs in this movie are amazing. Mm-hmm. In and of themselves, they are iconic.
So good. Yeah.
And then it starts off, L is for the way
you look at me. Good songs, good movie.
Yeah, iconic.
Watch it if you haven't.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Just watch it.
You don't have to watch the original if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm never going to watch it. So, yeah.
It's not important, but if you want to do it for the culture, do it. But I think this might be the superior Parent Trap. In my opinion.
It's the one more people know about. So
Yeah. True. So, any recommendations this week?
I have 3, and they're all shows.
Oh wow! Okay.
So, like, everyone, get ready.
Yes, right. Get your search engines open.
My first one was going to be a recommendation last week, but I could not remember.
Yeah.
It's Younger. Everyone watch Younger. It's such a good show. It stars Seton Foster, Hilary Duff, other people who I don't know their names. It's about a woman who is like 40 years old and she pretends to be like 26 to get a job at a publishing company. It's great. You'll love it. Tell me what team you're on. There's Team Josh and there's Team Charles. I am Team Charles.
Okay.
They're currently trying to ruin his character right now, so like I'm down bad, but I'm gonna stick with my team. Okay, I'm gonna stick with my team.
Mm-hmm. And Jordan is rarely wrong.
I'm rarely wrong.
Rarely wrong.
They're trying to do that cop out thing where they try to at the last minute make him a bad person for no reason. I think that's lazy writing. Mm-hmm. It's lazy. But I'm still Team Charles. Okay. Second one. Mm-hmm. This is a new show. It is called Cruel Summer. There's only been 2 episodes, but I'm hooked. It stars, what's her name? It's Olivia something. It's not Rodrigo. It's not Rodrigo. That's that singer girl. Who is this one? Yeah. Well, she was in Cloak and Dagger, another show I liked. Yeah. It's really good. It's about her being kidnapped and then another girl like takes over her life. It's amazing. Everyone watch it. I think it comes on Tuesdays. It's
a better remake of a better plot, but kind of like the same as like The Roommate.
Yeah, think better. Think The Roommate mixed with Pretty Little Liars, but make it better.
Better.
Like how Pretty Little Liars started off strong. Think that.
Yeah.
And then my third one is another new show. Just started watching it last night. I'm already on episode 6.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's the one that you stayed up late watching.
Yep. Stayed up till 1 a.m. watching it.
Ooh.
It's called Shadow and Bone
Oh
on
yeah.
Netflix.
My mom was watching that yesterday.
Oh, your mother has good taste.
Yeah.
So it's about a girl and her best friend. They're in a war between two different factions, I guess. I don't know how you would. It's not two different countries because it's like
Mm-mm.
one country, but there's like two
Yeah.
factions within the
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
And then there's this mysterious black fog
Ooh.
that like splits the country into like two pieces. And if you go inside the black fog, there's like these creatures that will like kill you. And so they're trying to figure out a way to get rid of the black fog. And
Mhm.
then the girl is like the key to it.
Yeah.
Won't tell you any more about it. You have to watch it. It's
Watch it.
great. Great television. Netflix, most of the time their stuff sucks. But every once in a
Yeah. Every
while
once in a while they pop off a really
they
good one.
they'll give you a hit. So yeah, that's it for me. What about
Okay.
you?
So I have two.
Okay.
My first is a song called You by Regard, Troye Sivan, and Tate McRae.
Okay.
It's a bop. Get into those summer bops. Let's go.
Oh, there are no summer bops yet.
Yeah, there's not
We're
like
almost in
main.
May.
Yeah, there hasn't been the one that stands out really yet.
I blame Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Look, I love Ariana Grande. I do. But she chose POV as her third single when it started heating up.
Yeah.
No, what?
I don't want to be in my feels.
Yeah, it's summer. I don't want to be
I need a
crying.
bop. Right.
Why
It's
did
hot girl summer.
she should have made POV the second single and
Yeah.
then 3435 could have been the summer
Yeah.
single. I love Ariana Grande, but her singles are always off. Always off.
Like we love them, but like, can you read the room first?
Yeah, she never reads the room with her singles.
She's
They're
just like,
all.
I'm gonna put this out. Y'all love it or hate it.
She's like,
And
I
we love
love
it.
this. She's like, I love this song right now. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be the
Yeah.
single right now.
This is what I'm vibing with right now. So
It's literally the mid of. We're literally in the middle of winter, and she releases Seven Rings. What?
right.
Made no
Right.
sense to me.
Right.
But yeah,
I feel like she always releases all of her bops around
when it's
fall,
cold.
winter.
When
Yeah.
it's cold
Yeah.
outside.
And then all of us are like, bruh, I want to bop to this, but like it's cold
Yeah.
outside.
And then by the time summer comes, the song has been playing on the radio so much you're tired of it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Oh, and did you listen to her new song? The one with the Weeknd?
Is it a new song? It's the same
Well,
song.
yeah.
I hate another complaint. I hate these new age remixes. They're terrible. They're not remixes.
Yeah.
Adding adding a featured artist is not a remix.
Yeah, no.
Can we please go back to the Mariah Carey remixes where it was a whole new song?
Right.
That's a remix.
Right. And like the minute you listen to the original, it's like it's filled with pauses and like breaks in the song because they wanted it to be a remix ultimately and not an original. Like take me back to those days though.
Yes.
Like remixes and remixes went off. It wasn't just one or two artists. Sometimes it was like multiple and the song was like 8 minutes and you're like, this is perfect.
Yeah, the queen of remixes was Mariah Carey, of course, but like everyone else was doing good remixes too.
Yeah.
Like SWV, that's very old. Most of you don't know who that is.
Oh,
their remixes are so good.
So freaking good.
They're much. I don't even listen to the original songs. I only listen to the remixes.
Yeah, because I feel like when I listen to the originals, I'm just singing the remix parts in my head. It doesn't feel as full when you listen to the originals.
Yeah. That's what a good remix is. It's so good you don't want to listen to the original song.
Yeah. Honestly.
The closest thing we got to that we've gotten to that in a while has been the Savage remix. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can feel that.
Yeah. So yeah, let's bring back a good remix and
Yes,
Bridges
please.
while we're back at
Oh
to that.
yeah.
Let's bring
Yeah.
back Bridges.
Yeah. Also, can y'all not be afraid to go over 4 minutes with a song?
Oh god, especially you Ariana Grande. But like,
Right,
yeah,
right. Like when she like did the extended version and the songs were like 2 minutes at best. I was like,
yeah.
girl. Anyway, my second recommendation is Agent Carter. For it's on Disney Plus.
I was just thinking about rewatching that.
I love Agent Carter.
I was just thinking about rewatching that.
Because I got sad because Falcon and the Winter Soldier has ended. If you haven't watched that, check that out.
Yeah, that went by so fast.
That went by so fast. I felt like it was faster than
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
WandaVision started off with giving us 2 episodes. And it
Yeah.
still felt like it went by slower than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. And the first 2 episodes were like what, 30 minutes tops?
30 minutes.
Yeah. But I was needing more Marvel content and I love my girl, Peggy Carter. Check out Agent Carter, please. It's so good.
Especially since, spoiler alert, they ruined Sharon's character. So
also they ruin Peggy's life because of that whole Cap goes back in time and goes justice for Daniel Susan.
So technically Agent Carter is like not canon.
Right. And it pisses me off because Agent Carter is so good. And I'm so mad it only got 2 seasons. It could have gone on so much farther. But no.
Yeah.
But check it out. It's so good.
When I finish Shadow and Bone, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
This was a sign from God.
Yes, it was. It was. I am almost done with season 1. I have like 2 more episodes, and then we get to season 2, which is so good. But yeah, check it out. Love it. Because there's no other reaction you can have to it.
Yep. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
This was a fun time. This is going to be...
Yes, it was. This is going to be a long episode.
It's going to be a long episode. But, you guys seem to like long episodes because, like, our 2-hour plus episodes have, like, some of the most views. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys hate The Notebook, though. You guys hate that movie. It has the fewest listens out of all of our episodes.
No way. And I thought that one was going to do so well.
People I think hate The Notebook because like no one has listened to that episode.
Oh, thank God. Because like I'm not one for super sappy romantic movies. That one was a trial to get through for me, but
yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of The Notebook. So yeah. Well, either way. While you're at it, how about you follow us on our social media?
Yes.
We have a Twitter and an Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
They're both at SYTYI Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So go on there. And then you can send us an email with a movie request.
Or a movie story.
Or a movie story. Whatever you want. We're not
Tell us how long it took for you to realize that Lindsay Lohan does not have a twin.
Yeah, please. Or if you want to be like this other person on Instagram who sent us a fake brand deal.
Yeah.
You can send us a fake brand. No, please don't send us a fake
please
brand
don't.
deal.
Now we've just opened the floodgates.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
Don't. It'll give us a good chuckle, but
please. Don't. Unless you specifically put like in like the header, this is a fake.
This is a joke.
Brand. Yeah, this is a joke. Our email is sytyi.podcast@gmail.com. And so don't forget to share us with your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen.
Yeah, there's so many sites.
Yes, and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Please.
5 stars.
5 stars. Nothing but good words.
I am what the young kids call a 5-star chick. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. In California, at least, we are nearing the end of this Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready to get out of this Panda Express.
Ready. I'm fully vaccinated.
Whoop.
The rest of my family, except for my mother, are fully vaccinated.
Oh, yes. Not yet.
So, like, I'm ready to get out. I'm ready to go.
He's ready to prowl out in the real world.
Yeah, so I'm going to need all of you to go get vaccinated. Please and thank you. If
Please
you
and thank
can.
you. If
If
you
you
can.
can. If you
Yeah.
can't,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Continue to be safe though.
But if you can, please go do that.
Yeah.
Swiftly,
Yeah. With the swiftness.
with a swiftness.
Yeah. If not, we will get Jordan to speak it out, and his words
Yeah.
have power.
My words have power.
It's scarily accurate.
Yes.
So
I will be able to go to the movies to see
yes.
Black Widow.
Yes, we will.
If I'm lucky, I'll be able to go see Fast and the Furious. If I'm lucky. But yeah. So thank you for that. Also, wear your mask.
Yes. Just yes. Please do that. Wash your hands, wash your masks.
Yes, yes, yes.
Some of y'all are dirty.
Yes, most of you are. If you
Eh.
meet a man, do not touch his hands.
Yeah.
And stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.